Why Colombia?
You know that Colombia is the third biggest economy in Latin America, and we have 50 million consumers here in Colombia. So this represents a huge opportunity for a company like Nestlé.
You are about to discover a country where incredible landscapes hide great investment opportunities. Welcome to the second season of Why Colombia, the podcast where investors will tell you how Colombia's beauty drives businesses.
Well, Felipe, thank you very much for having us here. I would like to introduce your company. And the company that we are going to speak today is Nestlé. As maybe you know, Nestlé is every day in most of the things that we do. Especially we are looking for a coffee or a snack, good coffee, or a snack of any kind of food. Nestlé is a multinational company and is the world's largest food and beverage company in the whole world. 447 factories operating in 191 countries and employing around 39,000 people. Wow, that is a huge and a very challenging operation. And as you maybe know, in Colombia has been established around 100 years ago. Well, and not only has been operating here in Colombia selling products and manufacturing food, there also has been very deep working with us, trying to support the growth and development of certain regions in the country, especially in Bogotá Grande, in Cauca Valley, Valle del Cauca. During this time, you have been established here production plans, create high quality employment opportunities, and benefiting local communities. Furthermore, they have also implemented sustainability and land regeneration programs to enhance the productivity and contribute to the environmental improvement. Today we have, and it's my privilege to be here with Felipe González, the CEO of Nestlé Colombia, with an impressive career. He served previously as Vice President of Operations for Nestlé in South America. And before that, various roles and remarkable accomplishments held in positions such as Commercial Director in Central America, Vice President of Operations for Central America, among others. Felipe is an exceptional leader. I'm not saying that, this is saying for his team and his colleagues, a strategic thinker and a role model. We extend our welcome to Felipe on the Why Colombia podcast. Well, Felipe, we know that you have been working for several areas in Nestlé and different countries. How has been your experience leading different countries in Latin America, and also what you want to share with us a little bit how has been in Colombia until now?
Well, thank you, Julio, for this invitation, and I can tell you that I've been here 2.5 months in Colombia, so quite recently. And after 26 years with the company, which it sounds too long, but it seems that it was yesterday when I joined Nestlé. And after being working in 5 different countries and regions, I can tell you that Colombia is one of my favorite countries.
Really?
And I'm not joking, and Colombia has something which is, for me, unique. First of all, the people. The people in Colombia is one of the most entrepreneurial people, very happy people. Everybody, is celebrating something, every day. They love music, they love food. They really know how to live life every day. So, for me, this is one of the countries that is very easy to find great talent, very great talent. Our team here in Colombia, I would say that is very talented when I compare with the rest of Latin America and sometimes in the world. So far so good. I'm super happy with this new challenge of being in Colombia.
I love to hear that, and also that you underline that people and talent is one of the things that you has been finding in Colombia that results, at the level that you were waiting for operation like you here. Well, also Nestlé, as we know, is very recognized for all the things that they do in innovation and programs that contribute to foster different initiatives in the country. And one of the programs that we were here recently was the regenerative agriculture. And this is a project, as far as I know, that you are currently implementing as a plan to reduce emissions. Can you tell us and our audience a little bit more about this project, in which consists?
Sure. Well, you know that Nestlé is rooted in values, and one of the main values that we have is respect. We love to work with respect with our people, with consumers, with communities, but also with the planet. And I'm super glad to share with you that a couple of months ago, we just launched the first regenerative agriculture forum with key stakeholders. We had the Minister of Agriculture, we had the International Bank, we had different stakeholders, and we discussed the future of the agriculture in Colombia. And you know, when you realize that we have just one planet and one chance to do it right, we strongly believe that this is the way forward for a company that basically gets all the raw materials from the agriculture. We are a food company and we convert a lot of raw materials coming from the farms to the tables of our consumers. So in this case, we have committed ourselves to really start this journey in a serious way. And let me tell you that, for example, in 2030, 50% of our raw materials will come from regenerative agriculture sources, which means which is huge impact. We need to convert more than 1,400 suppliers, and we need to work with more than 15,000 farmers around Latin America. So these are huge numbers. In other front, we strongly believe that the milk intake plays a very important role in CO2 emissions. That's why we had just launched a new program where we have invested 2,000 million pesos to pay an extra price for the milk coming from these kind of sources. So we are super committed to reduce our footprint in CO2, and it's not a small achievement. In a couple of years ago, we achieved a plastic neutral range. So we are a plastic neutral company in Colombia right now, one of the first in Latin America. So we are super happy also about that. So as you can see, we are working in many fronts at the same time, and basically we are super committed with reduce our CO2 emissions.
Well, I didn't know doubt about the plastic neutrality, but wow, this is a tremendous goal for a company like you. Well, I would like to point it out something that you mentioned, and is one of the main bets of this government is that the multinational companies can work with a local providers. And one of the things that you are doing not only works with value innovation program, also working with the communities and generate links. You can involve local suppliers and involve that local chain for the procurements that your company has. I mean, that's really amazing, and I think that is one of the things that we would like to share with our audience. And it's not only, work for plastic neutrality. It's important, but the most important thing for us is working with our local communities. This is really important, and I feel really happy hearing this. Well, diving into a little deeper in the good practice that Nestlé has implemented in Colombia. For a long year, Colombia was a country, with a extensive civil conflict in the past, and we also and a deeper root with illicit crops, let's say crops. Yeah, illicit agriculture. Yeah, that's much better. And one of the things that you have been doing in Nestlé is, start to working in a program to working with these local farmers to replace those illicit crops with productive crops, and also try to transfer to them good practices to do that. I mean, that project, can you tell us about about this project and how has been developed and what is the long-term vision for this?
Yeah. No, and it's very important when, let me come back again to the concept of respect in the community.
Okay.
When you work in areas like Bugala Grande, like in the Atlantic coast or in Pereira, you understand that communities are very, very important for our operations. Sometimes all the factories, you know, the workers in our factories are coming from that city or that village. And it's very important for them to feel that the company is providing some extra value to the community. So in this case, we launched a new project called Macondo. And this is a very unique project, I would say, around the world. You know that, and let me ask you a question. Do you know how many cups of coffee are imported in Colombia? Out of the 100 cups consumed in Colombia, how many of those 100 cups are coming from abroad?
No, shame on me, I don't know.
More than 50%.
Wow.
So this is amazing. So this creates a huge opportunity. When you realize that the coffee that is consumed in Colombia is coming from abroad, then you start thinking why. And we found a great opportunity to develop a new coffee plant called Robusta. You know that Arabica is the coffee that is consumed and produced in Colombia, but Robusta is very important to get the right cup of coffee. This is like the wine. You need to blend different coffees and to get the best out of those varieties. So we just launched this Macondo project with Agrosavia, which is a very unique partner as well, providing all the expertise and the knowledge to start seeding this new variety of coffee in Cereté. And we want to implement this project in 16,000 hectares in the north. Why? Because of course there is a lack of Robusta here in Colombia. We need Robusta in order to make the right quality of coffee. And of course the impact in the community is huge. And that's why all the stakeholders are super interested in this project. Government, ministers, our partners in coffee, our factories. I mean, this will be a huge project and with a high impact in the Colombian community. So we are super happy about this. If we can really roll out this project in the next 5 years, this will be a success. We already started. We have already big plans in Cereté, and now we are starting to roll out in the rest of the area.
And this is a very particular thing that you mentioned, that is why Cereté? Because when I mean, we were educated in the culture of coffee, on the coffee culture, you know, and when you think about coffee, you think about mountains. Yeah. And the only place that you realize that maybe the seeds of the coffee can grow is in mountains, but no, here is a different variety of coffee that is Robusta that can grow, you know, at level of sea level?
Absolutely. I mean, we have the right conditions in that area to grow Robusta. And that's why we are implementing these plantains, these pilot plants, in order to test if they are resistant to the weather, the temperatures. And so far, so good. So we are super confident that we will get the right results in the next years.
Wow, this is going to ample the scope of the things that we can do, or also you can do here in Colombia with this kind of wow.
And then when you realize that in that area you can really convert illicit agriculture into this great project, it's a win-win for everybody. I mean, for the industry, for consumers, for the communities. So we are super happy.
You were mentioned that with this special variety of coffee, we can impact all those zones that were, you know, with illicit crops, because this variety has, you know, that kind of conditions that make it like, I don't know if we can say resistance to this kind of soils and temperatures and
humidity.
Humidity.
Yeah. And that's why it's very important the first phase of the project, where when you test all the plants and you test, how high can grow, what is the productivity of each plant, and you know that this plant requires, because of the shape of the root, requires less water. So this is very important also from the environmental point of view. So, no, we are super confident.
Okay, but I mean, I think that the very important thing to mention here and to underline here is that Nestlé is not only, working in this project with the communities, with the local labs, I imagine. I mean, you are doing the technology transfer that we need in order that we can seed and grow that kind of coffee here. And I infer that also you are going to be involved in buying that production that been produced in these zones.
Absolutely. After this pilot test that we are doing with our pilot farm, the idea is to roll out as fast as we can in that area, and we hope to cover these 16,000 hectares, and then we will buy 100% of the production for the first 3 years. So this is very important to scale up as fast as we can, and I think that the consumers will be super grateful to have a great cup of coffee coming from Colombia 100% and not importing these 50% of the cups today.
Well, for me, that is not only sustainable and innovation. For me, this is commitment with a country. And Felipe, thanks for sharing with us the things that you are doing here in Nestlé. For me, Nestlé is a leading company not only in the world, also in Colombia. And and as we see and as you share, you have been working not only positioning the products, also to engagement with the communities, and the good practices and the things that you are doing. I mean, it's emblematic for us. I would like to ask you a little bit about what do you consider are the reasons that drive Nestlé to grow and have confidence in our country, and what do you believe has been the key to the success that you have been achieved here in Colombia?
You know that Colombia is the third biggest economy in Latin America, and we have 50 million consumers here in Colombia. So this represents a huge opportunity for a company like Nestlé. We have been here 100 years, but also we have the very strong commitment to keep growing, keep investing in Colombia, because today I think that we have all the facts and all the reasons why we should stay here 100 years more in Colombia. We have a very strong industrial setup. We have talent, as I explained a little bit earlier. And I think that Colombia has a unique entrepreneurial mindset. The local competitors here in Colombia are tough, and they are really, really good. They're very good quality of competitors. So we feel challenged in this country. We will invest 100 million in the next 4 years. And our ambition is to double our size in Colombia. And we are strongly committed to that. So I think that we have all the elements necessary to have that right ambition in Colombia.
Well, I'm not going to deny that, hearing you, I feel proud to be Colombian and to be working for my country, having allies like you. In that sense, and I would like you, as a foreign investor, can you share with another investors, what do you consider, apart from the reasons that you already mentioned, would be the main characteristics or the main advantage that Colombia has for foreign investors? And if you have a potential friend, another foreign company, not in the same sector, not competition, what kind of things do you share with them? What kind of things do you say about us, about our country? And if you see some opportunities for agribusiness in Colombia, what are you going to say to them about reason, advantage, and potential in agribusiness in Colombia?
If I would have to say to a friend that is in the agriculture business, I would say a couple of things. First of all, your climate is unique. The weather in Colombia is great. You can find soils at sea level, in altitude, you have access to water. This is one of the countries that if you fly over the country, you can see a lot of water in the land. So this is a unique opportunity for the agriculture business. Second thing, I think that is not very exploded yet. I mean, the intensity of the agriculture in Colombia is quite low. If you look, for example, the number of cows per hectare is half of a cow per hectare. When you go to other countries, sometimes you find 10 or 15 cows per hectare. So that means that we have still a lot of room to grow in this business. The third point, which is for me one of the most important one, is that you are strategically located in the map. There are few countries that can say that they have port in the Atlantic, in the Pacific. You know, the distances are not that big. I mean, if you compare with Brazil, that you have to cross 4,000 kilometers to arrive to a port. Colombia is quite unique in that aspect. And the fourth thing, I think that your mentality is quite impressive. I would really like to probably start a project in Colombia, because I know that we will find universities, we will find investors, we will find infrastructure. There are still a couple of things to improve, but I think that we have 80% already in place to have a successful story in Colombia. So I really like Colombia. Again, Julio. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to name you as a new ambassador of Colombia for us in these matters. Thank you, Felipe. Sincerely, thank you very much for your kind, for your generosity of your work with us, and also thank you for sharing the vision that Nestlé has for Colombia, for the bet that you are doing for 100 years more, for double the capacity, for continue working with the communities, for engage the local suppliers, and for do all these magnificent things, especially transfer knowledge, transfer technology, and also bet in Colombia. I think that Colombia needs more companies like Nestlé, that bet for Colombia and build the country with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for being here with us, and thank you for our audience. Stay tuned, and let's see what is going to be our next episode. Thank you very much, Felipe.
Thank you very much, Julio.
Discover more investment opportunities in the next episode.